Director, in the 1990s were such a golden era. Why can't we return to the Clinton era spending limits? You agree that with President Obama that a balanced budget is not a worthwhile goal?
So let's actually go back to the 1990s. Let's go back to the early 1990s when we had 4% GDP projected deficits, according to CBO. We did balance deficit reduction. The projection after that was 2.5%. Not that different than where we are today, where at the end of this window we're at 1.7%, so we're a little bit below. So the forecast at the time was 2.5% deficits. What did we end up with? Surplus. How did that happen? Economic growth. That's exactly why we need a plan here that gets us on a fiscally sustainable path.
Growth happened in the private sector, not in government.
Of course. And that's what's happening.
It seems to me that the budget that's before us is to grow government, not to grow the private sector.
Let's stick with the statistic. The projected deficit for the federal government was 2.5%. We're lower than that in the president's plan. What took us from negative 2.5% to a surplus was economic growth, absolutely the private sector growth. So we need to do both here. We need to get ourselves on a fiscally sustainable path, downward deficits, downward debt as a percent of GDP, but we also have to invest in our economy and get people back to work, and that's very similar, or is similar, to what the plan was in the 1990s.
Well, Mr.
Get
Chairman,
the economy growing at its full potential.
Seems to me, by the numbers we've increased government spending by 33%.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentlelady.